Hey, welcome everyone. It's Coach K. It is a very interesting day in cryptocurrency with something that a lot of us actually prepared for. We're talking about the dump city, dump city, baby. Okay, now it may worry you, but it doesn't really worry me too much. But before I get started, guys, if you're watching this video, right where my nipple's kind of showing right there, there's a little subscribe button. Click on that subscribe button, click on that like, smash them up, and do me a favor, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, give a retweet or a share so that others can find out my analysis on what actually is happening. I'm going to give you guys lots of different reasons of why this is actually going on, and also on top of that, going to look at some of the really positive things that are happening in the crypto space. So let me just say hi to everyone that's watching. Axel, nice to see you. Neil, Mark Jenko, what's up, my brother? Hilda, nice to see you. Richard, and Ben, what's up? So hope you guys are all having a great day. We'll see others jump in as we go, but we'll get right started into it. So first things first, as you may see right behind me, that Tether actually admitted in court to investing some of its reserves in Bitcoin. So remember last year, everyone kept saying like, oh yeah, they just keep printing off freaking Tether and buying Bitcoin. That happened. That actually happened. They've been buying apparently since about $3,000. They were buying Bitcoin with Tether. Interesting, right? I find it quite interesting. You should also find it interesting because it took almost 24 to 48 hours after this news broke the first time to actually see anything happen in the markets. And Larry Cermak, who's on, if you guys don't know, he's on Twitter. He has lots of great analysis. Go check him out. Add him on Twitter as well. He's great at analyzing what's going on in the markets, but he's, I believe he's a lawyer as well. So looking at this is kind of interesting, and there's a long transcript of like what's going on and what happened, but the real big gist of what I want to tell you here is this is very fundamentally important to why Bitcoin's price could be dropping as a fundamental reason. We'll also look at the technical reasons of why Bitcoin might fall as well. Now, don't forget, guys, if you're watching, just happily comment and share anything that you're feeling, thinking. If you got wrecked, let us know. It's okay. Everyone gets wrecked once in a while, and it's not the worst thing or the end of the world. We all just have to learn and grow. I have friends that lost $1 million recently in this industry. So you know, you're gonna have ups and downs as part of trading and part of crypto. Just be able to chill and know that it's all going to be okay. Everything always works out in the end. Moving on, let's just have a look at what we're trying to see and expect. So here's something that I noticed, and it didn't really play out when we first dropped. So I was kind of like, all right, I'll jump back in. And most of us did that. So let's draw here. So we had this double top, 1, 2. Generally a double top means that we'll see something like this happen. Where we drop down. But what's really interesting, and what I find super interesting as well, is we saw it bounce back up. So everyone must have thought like, oh, we're bullish again. But now we're starting to see that the correction again is headed in this direction down. And here's what we have to look for. We had almost a triple top, 1, 2, 3. So it touched 3 times the top, meaning usually we're going to drop from that price action. So if we touch the top twice, usually we see what we saw over here. When we touch the top 3 times, we usually see what we're seeing right now. Now, where will the market potentially go to? So this is a really interesting question. Many of you probably are going to ask, where will the market go to? So I'm just going to kind of answer that really quickly and show you what I'm expecting to see in our crypto market. Sorry about that. Let me just get rid of this. I'm just trying to get rid of all those nice, beautiful arrows and pictures I drew there. Okay. Now, what we're going to see is this very likely. We're probably going to head down to our first pivot point around 6,900. Now we may bounce from that as we've done once, twice before, almost 3 times before around this range, and come back up. But what I'm actually expecting to see is this. I'm expecting to see us do something along the lines, and you're not going to like this if you're a bull in crypto. I'm a very bullish person for crypto, but this is what we probably will see. It will bounce. It will try to come back up from that bounce. And I have a feeling that we're just going to fail, and we're going to end up coming down here to this 6,400 range. So This isn't to scare you, but we're probably going to, after that, very likely over summer, because summer months are usually, not very good for crypto or other markets. Oh yes, see there, you're right on point with where I'm going. Yeah, 54 to 5,800 range. And if we look, just drawing some horizontal lines here, we can see that there's a lot of support in that 52, 50, 5,100, 5,200 range. But we also have this nice support around 54, 5,500 as well. So we're going to see a lot of this action, and don't be alarmed or scared. The worst thing you can do is just panic right now. Is this going to happen and play out? Probably. And if we look at things like RSI, sometimes it gives us a little bit of an answer to these questions. So we see that 1, 2, we had this, what we call a bearish divergence. Okay. So what a bearish divergence is when our price action is going up while our RSI is going down. So as you can see from this part right here, until right here, we had an upward momentum against a downward momentum. It usually signifies the end of a trend, wave 5. We did see it start to drop, and it looked like it was about to start again, but I think it's a fake out right here, this little mountain. I used to call them mountains, and that's exactly what they looked like last year, where they were up, sideways, and down. Now we have down, sideways, and up. So these mountain tops, what they usually, it looks the opposite in what we saw all of 2018. We see a little of the opposite there. Someone pushed the price up, but I do expect for us to have a 5-wave count down and then correct around there. And then this will probably take months. So, don't think that this is going to happen in May. This probably will take until maybe August. We'll have some more sideways and downward momentum. So don't worry about that. Just released a video as well with buyback zones. Nice. Yes, we'll have to check that out. Where do you think, yes, we're going to get to in terms of the buyback areas? So I would look at the 5,800 range to start buying back, and maybe average down along the way. But I would even have buy orders at 5,000. Personally, because we don't know how low we can go, and we could even go potentially into this range in the 4,400 range, potentially, not guaranteed, but it depends on how the summer goes. This really felt like an artificial pump though, right? So we have to look for that. Now, moving on from the technical analysis side, I want to talk about some other things that kind of gave it away for me that we might have some type of correction. I was getting bullish. The alt season was started. Everything is really in there. So let's look. 6,400, 5,800, 5,400. I agree with that. It's pretty much where the price pivots are actually, yes. We have about 68, 6,900, 6,400, and 5,600. You're saying around 58. And then we could actually draw an actual Fibonacci chart to check where that actually would work, but pivots usually work as well. So I think, yes, you're going around, yeah, not really exactly, but yeah, you're figuring that, and I'm gonna guess you're laddering buying down, and we're gonna go down, guys. So don't stress out, tether up. Actually, don't tether up after what I showed you. TUSD is my favorite stable coin. Just give you guys a piece of advice. I've used TUSD for a very long time. My partner Serbine agreed a while back to use TUSD, even though it's not as liquid as USDT, because of this news. So if you missed the start, Tether admitted to actually investing Tether to buy Bitcoin, just like we all thought. Now, CZ started telling us some things that were kind of overly bullish, like they had the highest order volumes they've ever had since December, January, during our bull run. Now, he also said the not order volume in USDT is about 1/3 of the peak, but Bitcoin price is 1/3 and ETH is 1/5. So he's saying that we didn't have as much money in the market, but we had a lot more volume in terms of orders being placed in the market. So it was bullish. Yes, and we'll have to come and find out. But the question that I had for you guys was, what is causing this bearish movement down? Nothing. It's normal. We had the end of the 5th wave, and now we have to come back down and correct. Another thing I did not show you, which I did have there on the screen before, everyone was calling for a 30% movement down. Now, I want to show you something really interesting. right here is 31%. This is why I'm thinking that 5,800 will probably be where we bounce from, but that doesn't mean anything, as you guys all know. Peter Quill, nice to see you. Leroy, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing really well. So if this is scaring you, don't let it scare you. I have a short opened from about $7,600 on BitMEX, and I'm fully expecting for that to be very profitable. So what we learned in the bear market is we could have made money on the way down. Let's do it this time. You know, set market stop losses. If you do that, I will be making videos on how to play BitMEX a little bit smarter, because some people forget to use stops and get liquidated, and it really hurts your pot. So we'll be talking about that as well, but it is high risk. So this is not financial advice, and do not open a short, because I told you, do your own research, please. And if you learn, you can learn from Yas, you can learn from myself, but learn first before you go into a market you don't understand with high risk margin trading, please. Okay, the worst thing could ever happen is you lose more money. It's not okay. Don't want you to do that. So that's it with the 29 bull run. No, I don't think it's the end of it. I think that I've been saying for a while, XRP will see its movement in late October, early November. We'll see the market come back. But when you are looking at it on a macro perspective, we have to look at on a very long time frame, right? We might only be in wave one. Technically, we could just call this, if we look at it, wave one, which are going, what does that even mean? Well, if we look at the wave impulse, this could just be wave one. This could be wave two down to this this rate. Wave three will bring us a lot higher to that 13K range, maybe by the end of the year. Wave 4 will bring us likely down into this range over here, and wave 5 will bring us near that 20K range. And I could be drawing that completely wrong, and it could be way more bullish, but my whole thing was that we very likely will get to that $10,000 range by the end of the year, and I still maintain that. I thought we'd be at 10,000 in January of 2020, and I still feel like that's a good possible range for us to get to. Okay, so moving on, there's some really cool stuff that's come out, and this is one of them. So we had this new browser you guys can get. It's called Get Used to Bitcoin. So how it works is if you go on a website, it'll actually start automatically showing you Satoshi values and dollar values on different websites. So you get that very easily by just going on to, I'll send this link into the description of the video. You click on Get Used to Bitcoin and you click on that. Now, all it does is it automatically converts prices for you live on websites. Okay, so if we go to eBay, for example, let's just have a good look and see if it's working properly. But there it is. So as you guys can see right on the page, the stock price is $36.31, and the Satoshi value is 480,000 sats. Pretty friggin' cool app. It makes everything very simple to use, and you know, this is the kind of stuff we need so people kind of get used to it, right? So this is a retail app to try and make it easier for you guys all to get there. And yes, Bitcoin is inevitable. So the bull run starts in August, September. It could, yeah, I agree. Yes, it could be August, September. It could be the start, kind of that slow run up that we had in February, March. But I think that we're going to see the real bull run, the real bullish momentum start in October, November, especially for things like 88. Now, getting on to some other things. As I had told many of my members in my group, and told very many other people, Craig Wright's whole copyright I'm Satoshi thing is a crock of bullshit, okay? It's a bullshit thing that he did, that he made everyone think, because the problem with the world these days is no one knows how to do their own research. They get thrown something in their face and they just believe it. And guys, don't be those types of people. Always, as an educator, I told my students, and I will tell all of you, always second guess and question everything. Always. Because if you do that, you will always be smarter, more ahead of the game, and you'll do the thing that I always talk about most: listen with your eyes. You will be able to make better decisions for yourself, and you will not get sucked into the vortex of everyone believes everything. So start using that intrinsic skill that you guys all have, and you're all really smart, and remember to question everything you see online, because what he did do was file a thing that costs approximately $55 for a copyright. People then I can go and say I'm Satoshi and do the exact same thing. And importantly, the registration is issued by the US Copyright Office, recognized Wright as the author under pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto of both the white paper and code. This is the first government agency recognition of the creator of Bitcoin. Now that is from that article you saw yesterday. The US Copyright Office, on the other hand, doesn't actually recognize anyone for anything. Ultimately, it is a repository designed for protecting the rights of creators of arts and architecture and art and literature and many other, not architecture, literature. Okay, so that is what's true. Always focus on that. Another really important person in crypto is Jack Dorsey from Twitter. Now, he started with Square a little while ago with this inevitable mass adoption. This inevitable mass adoption of crypto, right? So he started by, trying to say, like, I'm going to pay people, hire engineers, a lot of people working on for free for Bitcoin. I'm going to hire you to help this industry grow. So great thing for the industry. Square community is going to focus on what's best for the community, and they're going to be creating a lot of different easy ways and access to using cryptocurrency. So there is this whole idea that they invested in that Lightning Labs, and the whole idea behind this, and this is what I've been saying about crypto and wallets and all this other stuff, is it needs to be faster, it needs to be more efficient, it needs to be easier. So what he's focusing on, UX, the user experience. If I can't figure out how the F a private key works before I even start, guess what it means? It means I'm very unlikely to actually buy or sell cryptocurrencies or hold them, because I really don't get it. My mom is a perfect example. She goes, I don't understand that stuff. It's just too confusing. Can't you do it for me? Why don't we make it so that it's not too confusing and I don't need to do it for her? So Dorsey's gone all in on Bitcoin. He has been buying $10,000 a week of Bitcoin for a really long time. So I'm sure on this run up, he was very happy. Shpeto, nice to see you. CJ, nice to see you. It's good seeing you guys. Oh, there's a question from Lily. Joel, I'm trying to get more BTC. It's smart to buy Litecoin or XRP and then sell for BTC later this year. It will gain more value Satoshi than buying BTC directly. Here's something you have to understand. Litecoin, 44 days before the last halving, dropped almost 30%. Right now, we have about 72 days till the next halving for Litecoin. So there might be a run up, but if we see Bitcoin continue to pull back, we'll probably not see that run up. We may have already seen the run up when it went from $22 to $100 recently. That's 4x. So keep that in mind all the time. It's something that you have to fundamentally go, oh, and think about it. Okay. Now, Binance, interesting. The Altseason, people are going, well, Bitcoin's dropping. Well, Bitcoin what's going on here? What's going on there? And Matic is still on a tear. It's still up like an immense amount at 405 Satoshi, or sorry, 404. It's actually dropping right now, so whatever. But Tyrion, did you guys see that? It's like they watched Game of Thrones, they liked the name, and people started to buy it. But yes, Tyrion got promoted by Tiki Tiwara, and it went from 200 sats to 800 sats in like snap of your fingers, kind of like that. All right, so another thing just to keep in mind, that we might not be done alt season. If Bitcoin drops, we may actually continue with alts moving up, but be very careful. As we know, when Bitcoin drops, altcoins also drop generally. And what you also will notice is none of these altcoins are top 10. They're all just, what people may call shit coins. They're good coins, some of them, but they're not top 10 coins. Keep that in mind. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is this really, really cool thing. Coinbase Commerce Now, a lot of people are like, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But so I'm going to make a video on this. So if you don't catch it all, don't worry. I'm going to make another separate video tomorrow for just Coinbase Commerce. But Coinbase Commerce now is accepting USDC. USDC, they're making it like super worldwide, around like 60 something countries now, where you can buy USDC and pay for it kind of like a dollar, you know, an actual dollar, and buy it and use it online and use it in stores and so on and so forth, which is really, really interesting. And I'll tell you why. To get started is very simple. You sign up. Here is what it looks like when you get it done. And then you can easily, through your website, integrate it through WooCommerce. You can put it as an API payment through your bot or whatever you want to use. And you can also create a checkout. And watch how easy this is. You create a checkout, the person goes to pay, they put their email, right? And then they pick what they want to pay. So they still can pay with other stuff other than USDC. Let's say I want to pay with Ethereum, $150. Boom, it shows up. You can scan the QR code and pay for it right there. And it's done instantly. Amazing stuff. It's really, really cool. Now, a question that many people ask, well, how much is this going to cost me? What are payment processing fees do you charge? Well, the answer is they don't charge any fees to process payments. The only fees they charge you are what the pay per transaction network fees are, which are inherent to each blockchain and sent to the miners. So basically, it is free to use Coinbase Commerce in your business. Why is this interesting? Because that makes Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, very much so inevitable. The question you'd have to ask yourself is this: have you ever paid for something on eBay or PayPal, and have you paid a $5, $8, $7, 8% fee, 5% fee on top of it? Now they're telling you it's pretty much free. I mean, if you use Bitcoin, it might be a couple dollars, but pretty much it's free, right? So this is really amazing. This is bringing me to the end of today, just talking about, wow, we are inevitable. And this is something beautiful. So if there's any questions, you guys throw them in the comments. If you haven't got on YouTube, guys, get on my YouTube, click the subscribe, smash up some likes on Facebook, share this to your favorite crypto group, and get the good information out, because I am taking time to analyze it so that all you guys have all the right insights into what's really happening in the market. I don't shill. I don't, make up BS. This is all the gushy stuff. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with a video on how to actually use Coinbase Commerce. If you do have a business online, or you do use online payments or even in-person payments, this will be a video tomorrow you want to watch, so that you actually know how to use Coinbase Commerce in your own business and see how actually easy it is to use all these different currencies to pay for products. So that's pretty much it, everyone. I hope you guys have a great day. See you all tomorrow. And Coach K signing out. Bitcoin's inevitable.